My guess is you've been sitting around surfing the internet a little bit more than usual. Have you listened to any news lately? Guys, hackers are working harder than ever at stealing your data and your personal information. Let me ask you a question. Are you sure your identity and browsing history are protected? I've been using NordVPN for the past few years because it allows me to safely browse the internet without being traced. NordVPN's advanced encryption hides your location and encrypts all your data. I got a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee for you. Go to nordvpn.com/Sonnen or click on the link in the description to get this special deal. What is the craziest thing you've ever bet? And everybody's made a bet at some point. It wasn't always about money. Hey, I'll bet you this, I'll bet you that. Sometimes it's an expression. Okay, no problem. Let's see how it goes. Bragging rights, right? But what's the craziest thing you've ever bet? I don't do a ton of betting unless I'm like in a casino because I don't know that I'll get paid. I don't know the other person has honor. I don't know. And I'll tell you where that comes from. I was in middle school. I would have been in kindergarten. No, I would have been older than that. 4th grade. I was in the 4th grade. I'm going to leave the kid's name out of it because he's still my neighbor to some regard. We were playing pig on the playground. Do you guys know how to play that? The rules to pig, P-I-G. You shoot baskets, but there's not a lot of rules in pig, but there is one. If I shoot and I make it, you now must make it. If prior to me shooting, I call the shot, meaning I swish, and I swish it, you now have to match and get a swish. You make the basket, but it touches the backboard of the rim, letter goes up. Granny shot was always my trick. I was great with the granny shots, and I wasn't bad at the behind the head shots, but I was great with the granny shots for whatever reason. So I did really well in pig, and I played this guy. He lost. He owed me $3. Not only did he not pay me, his mother called the school. You're not allowed to make bets. The principal takes me off recess and sits me in his office to tell me how I can't take that money and it's not going to be paid. And he scolded me. But wait a minute. I won the bet. He welched. How would the lesson here be to me? And my father agreed. My father couldn't believe that this kid wasn't paying up, particularly when his mom knew. My dad's like, hey, he might not have $3, but if mom knows about it, she's got to cover the spread for the family. But now I don't have faith when I went around and made bets. So usually if I'm not in a casino, I usually don't. I've even done it before, knowing I was going to lose as a Scrooge test to see if I could trust the other guy or to let him know that he could trust me. I only share that with you because a bet is going around. And when I bet, as you just start, it's $3, right? P-I-G, dollar a piece. Probably reasonable. You guys probably wouldn't think that Chael had a gambling problem. Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul just bet a tattoo. Now, the way that works, if Jake beats Tyron, Tyron has to get a tattoo on himself that says, I love Jake Paul. Vice versa. Jake loses to Tyron. Jake gets a tattoo that says, I love Tyron Woodley. Okay. Now, tattoos are going to be with you forever. Right? That's one that doesn't wash off. And Jake Paul even told Tyron as a caveat to this bet, you must not only get the tattoo, you must post it on your Instagram. Now, that made me chuckle because as proof, you're going to have proof for the rest of your life. There's going to be no way to deny that you got the tattoo. I do not like remembering or being reminded of my failures. So I'm just putting myself in a shoe. I got Anderson Silva's name right here, or something along those lines. That's not something I want. That's not a bet that I would make. And if I did make it, I would have got it, and I would have his name right here. I guess I'd have to have it twice, wouldn't I? Okay. Interesting. It's a very interesting bet. It shows some level of confidence by both guys. Or they chickened out. They got caught up in the moment. They didn't know how to handle. They wanted to appear confident. Whatever. Here we are. And they shook. Not only did they say it, which makes it official, they then shook on it, which makes it extra official. It means if you don't have that tattoo for the rest of your life, you cannot be trusted for the rest of your, and the whole world knows. This is a massive bet. This is a massive bet. And I got to give Paul credit, right? I like watching Paul work. I like watching him maneuver and manipulate. I feel as though he is just a step ahead. I appreciate it. If Paul gets a tattoo of Tyron on him, his fans will like it, right? Like his audience will like it. That would be a cool and on brand and normal. He's been getting stupid tattoos on every bit of his body since he learned what a tattoo had access to a pair of car keys and a few bucks in his pocket. There's not a risk there for him. Even if it's same, it's not a risk. You guys go bet $1,000. But you bet it with a billionaire, it's not the same, right? You could really use that grand, but if you got to pay it, but it's not going to affect him either way at all. Won't even know it's gone. You see the difference? It's not an even bet. This is not level playing field. Tyron's my friend. I'm standing with T Wood. In this situation, I got to be objective. And if I'm to score that, I got it 1-0 Paul.